Good day, viewers. You're welcome to your most favorite program on our station, Benue People's Television International. This is the program Personality of the Week, and I'm proud to bring to you, I call him a big fish, one of Benue's most popular physician. He is a physician, like I said, a business tycoon, a politician, and of course, a man of the people. Our big fish these day, viewers, is Dr. Stephen Kwande. Doctor, you are welcome to Benue People's Television International.
Thank you so much. I'm so pleased to be here today.
Thank you. This is a personality program, and so we are going to begin this way. Who is Dr. Stephen Kwande?
Thank you, Dr. Stephen T. Ungwa Hwandi. I was born in 1975, September 29, 1975, in Lafia. To Honorable, I'm a fifth in the family of 6, so I'm second to the last child. My dad, Honorable Jerome Hwandi, is alive, a former minority leader in Benue State Assembly in 1983. He's a teacher basically by profession. And my mother is late Grace Hwandi. She was also a teacher. I think she rose to state chairman of Nigerian Union of Teachers. So they gave birth to me in Lafia, and I grew up going to primary school, St. Catherine, St. Teresa, Happy Home, multiple primary schools. Then I got into government college, 1988. I was in government college for 3 years, government college Makodi for 3 years. And then after 3 years, after junior WAEC, I now transferred to Mount St. Gabriel's Secondary School, Makodi, where I spent another 3 years. So I graduated from secondary school in 1993, and then I went to Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where I studied medicine. At that time, Professor Sao was a VC, so we were able to get admission, and we were in Zaria. Then I studied medicine and surgery. I graduated. I came back to Makodi to do my housemanship with Federal Medical Center. Then I served in Anambra in Nnewi, in Anambra State. Then in the course of my movement, I got hooked up with late Senator Joshua Adagba, who was a famous gynecologist, a one-time senator. And then I liked having done apprenticeship with him. I now moved into gynecology. I now did my specialization in gynecology at Federal Medical Center with some postings in Jos University Teaching Hospital. Then when I came back, then Matthias Oyigaya was the MD of Federal Medical Center. So I told him what I've observed is that a lot of women have issues of infertility. You see a lot of them, and the fertility centers were not here. We didn't have any fertility centers, both private and public. So I spoke to Matthias Oyigaya, Dr. Matthias Oyigaya, who I was lucky and allowed me to go to India for further studies. When I came back, and then Dr. Peter Onyundu also was the acting MD FMC after Oyigaya left. He also sent me out again to India for further studies in the area of IVF, assisted reproductive technique. And then after a while, I went to Dubai again, United Arab Emirates, to further my studies. So when I came back, I discovered that it was so difficult getting the center set up in public sector. So through the grace of God, we were able to put together First Fertility Hospital. First Fertility Hospital was commissioned in June 1st, 2015 by the wife of the governor, Mrs. Eunice Edo Ortom. And the hospital basically carries out 3 fundamental things. One, all aspects of fertility treatment. You can sex selection, IVF, in vitro fertilization, ICSI, any aspect of it.
Before we go to that, we're still talking about you.
I'm married. Let me go to my personal family now. I'm married. If I don't mention my wife here, and if I go home, I won't have food to eat. So I'm married to Edo Mary Agbate, who is now Mrs. Edo Hwandi. We are blessed with 3 kids, Do Shuma, Shate, and Dose. I'm a Catholic, and basically, this is what I can tell you for now.
Okay, from what you've told us so far, after so much education here and there, trainings here and there, it's like you didn't actually work in the public sector.
Yeah, I worked with the Federal Medical Center up to 2017, 18 to 2018. I rose to the pinnacle of practice. I was also the president of doctors in Federal Medical Center, ARD, Association of Resident Doctors. I became the state secretary of Nigerian Medical Association and then the state chairman. So the current secretariat used by Nigerian Medical Association, I built it as the chairman of doctors. So even there I rose through the ranks to become a very senior consultant before I resigned to vie for the position of the governor.
Okay. Now you are into private practice, and from what we hear, you are doing very well. Talk to us about your practice, what you're doing presently.
Okay, fine. You see, when you become an adult, everybody, except you are going to be a reverend father, everybody gets married. And the moment you get married, and even at the wedding day, people are telling you, in 9 months' time, we'll come visiting to see a boy and girl. It's not so. 9 months. And then nothing happens. 1 year, nothing. Mother-in-law will start her own. Father-in-law, friends. But what's happening now? Her friends, your friends, pressure accumulates. Because in the African context, marriages are also, the joy and happiness of marriages revolves around siblings, kids. And now is really a challenge. So this problem is everywhere. People who are suffering it. I know the public know people. And this can lead to divorce, polygamy, infidelity, so many things. Depression, worry, marital discord, so many things, even suicide. So polygamy. So when you become somebody in the society, you cannot solve all the problems of the society. You pick one aspect. What you are doing here, beautiful job you are doing here today, is one aspect of the society. Because society cannot develop without online TV, online radio, communication, information. So I am blessed with in the area of reproduction. So what we do now is that normally a man is supposed to meet his wife and pregnancy will come. If there are problems in the man, we give drugs. If there are problems in the woman, we give drugs and encourage the natural conception. But if that does not take place, then you do assisted reproduction. Assisted reproduction means there are many channels. You can take the man's sperm, take the woman's follicles, that is, you inject, take the eggs out of the woman, and take the sperm out of the man, and form the embryo, that is the baby, outside, and then take the product and transfer it into the woman, and give her drugs. You do test, she's positive, she carries her baby, and she gives birth. So this we are doing. And then some people are AS, and the other man is AS, the wife is AS. We can now do proper genetic screening and selection. And then they can go ahead to have babies that are not sicklers. Some people have genetic issues. They give birth to children who have Down syndrome. And so you can pick the right embryo, quality embryos, and then transfer. And then this solves all those problems. So, and then some women don't have womb.
Yes.
They don't have womb. So you can actually take the egg and the sperm of the sperm of the man and the egg of the woman. Another woman will carry their biological child. We call that surrogacy. Then some people have cancers of the testes, and before you know, these cancers can destroy their testes, and sperm will be bad. You can collect the sperm and store the sperm for several years. So At intervals, you go to your sperm bank and pick the sperm and fertilize. So that's why they say even a dead man can give birth. Because if a man has a terminal illness, the wife can collect the sperm and keep in the sperm bank. Every 2 years, they use the sperm and then fertilize and she becomes pregnant. If you do the DNA, it's the DNA of the dead man. These are all innovations that are available, and we are doing it in Makurdi here. So what we have been able to do is what we call medical tourism. Because now people come, my team, I have a team even from India that come in 4 to 5 times a year. When they come into the Nigerian economy. They come into the Benue economy. They stay in Benue hotels. They eat Benue food. And then I have clients coming from, because this center I have is not in Nasarawa State, not in Taraba State. It's not in Kogi State. So people come from far and wide. And because of the success, people come from different places. If you go around First Fertility, you're a journalist, go and do interview around hotels that are around First Fertility. People stay there for months. So the hotels, they are benefiting. If you go around us now, there are shops selling. So it also brought in Benue, tourism into Benue. And when they are going back, they see the Benue food, they like it, the Benue fruits, the Benue clothing. So we have been able to also bring in brand Benue on board as one of the major sites and places where fertility issues are solved in this country.
Okay. This transplanting you do, don't they have effects on the baby and even the mother?
No. See, let me state that even for natural pregnancy, you hear women having miscarriages.
Yes.
You hear? Even for natural pregnancy, you hear women dying after childbirth. So even natural cause their problems. That's why you have miscarriage. Like abortion. That's why you have women dying. That's why even the natural system, don't you see children with Downs? So in IVF, it's not very different from nature. It's not very different from nature. You understand? It's just that this man and this woman cannot meet. So you take the sperm. We are not producing the sperm. We are not manufacturing the egg. So we are not taking the place of God. No doctor can manufacture sperm. No doctor can manufacture the eggs. It is these people. It's just that for one thing or the other, they are not meeting. So there's nothing special about this thing. It's just that since they are not fertilizing in the body, let us fertilize outside and put it back. So it's not a very complex thing to be afraid of or to panic.
So what have been your achievements so far? How can you give us categorically
one thing
what you have been able to do? How many of such successes can you say you've recorded?
Now I want to first and foremost give thanks to God, because even for knowledge, for giving us this knowledge, for giving us the direction to stay in Benue. Because when we brought this fertility thing here, before we brought it, people thought it was something for Abuja, Lagos, and India. Am I lying? That's what people thought. And people thought they were things that were very expensive, not for a common man, something for very rich people. So my first success is that I've commonized it. That's the way I'm going to put it. I've commonized it because I can tell you that a primary school teacher, I can tell you that a woman selling tomato in the market, I can tell you that an Okada person, I've commonized it. That is the first success, because when you bridge the gap between the very rich and the poor, it's a huge achievement. Nobody thought that in Makurdi here people would do, but I tell you, we have done close to over 2,000 cases. And we have over 1,000 pregnancies. And so you have solved the problem of families. Today, if in Benue here, a man sends his wife packing because she has not been able to give birth, that man is not fair to that woman without coming to First Fertility. Because churches have cooperated with us.
Yes.
If they go for counseling and they discuss fertility, I have very big pastors and very big priests who, once there are issues, because let me tell you, we are in a real world. A man and a woman married for 20 years, no baby. Temptations are so much. The family values may be dropped. And they go for counseling in the church, and the church tells them, go and meet one day in First Fertility. God has blessed that young man. If we solve, through him, God will do wonders. So if a man now, you know a man now, in Otupo or in Apa, Ogboju, anywhere, Igumale, Okpoko, Okpoga, Orokan, sending a woman away because she has not given birth and the person has not come to first fertility. That person has not explored everything. And I'm assuring you that it is cheaper than even marrying another wife.
Yeah, that is rare.
It's cheaper because if you impregnate a girl now,
yes.
a girl now, 1, you are going to pay dowry. 2, you are going to rent house. 3, you are going to maintain her family. Now, if I say, will this thing not be more than 400,000? But if you come to us with that, your wife, and maybe we subsidize to even 200,000, and you are lucky you take 3 plus 2 boys and a girl, is it not cheaper than going to marry another wife or impregnating people? Because when you want to marry another one, the girl may have HIV, or the girl may have hepatitis. You may be running from not having children to death because you are desperate now. So you see a girl passing on the street, then you just say, my wife has not given birth, then you fall on her because you want children. Will you use condom when you are looking for a child? And most of them will not go for any screening. You understand? So this will even protect the health of people and keep them in the family line. This is a huge achievement.
So what have been your challenges so far?
You know, the truth is that in everything you do in this life, there are challenges. This Benue online TV you are running here, if I ask you, definitely you have challenges. Maybe you want a bigger site. You want to build your own site. You want to have more equipment. You want to have more personnel. You yourself, you want to go for training in London or in US, because manpower and human resource development is not a joke. When I started here, I told you I've been to India. I've been to United Arab Emirates. I've been to this for training. You too. So there's no unit that you want to set up that funds. Because if I have funds, I could expand what I am doing, the scope. Do you understand? I could expand the scope. I could increase my space. If you go to my hospital now, I am developing, which I will also invite you for the commissioning in June. I'm developing a neonatal intensive care unit. That intensive care unit in Nigeria now, the viability, what we call viability, is 28 weeks. Meaning that for you to say a pregnant woman's baby has a chance of surviving is when she's getting to 7 months. Any baby you deliver at 5 months or 6 months may most likely not, is not viable. But if you go to Sweden and UK, pregnancies of just over 5 months survive. That's what we call viability. When President Trump was doing the last State of the Union address, he took he's somebody that stands against abortion. So he took a baby that was delivered at 5 months to the last State of the Union and showed the world that if this baby was aborted at 5 months, would this baby be here? So in Nigeria now, if you at 5 months you deliver, no facility to make sure that baby survives. This is a factor of equipment. Now these are the equipments I'm bringing in now. I'm bringing them on board so that, because the IVF that we do, some women, I have pregnancies up to 63 years. A 63-year-old woman has given birth in First Fertility Hospital. Now, the challenge is that when they are 60, 50s, late 50s, the challenge is that sometimes their body system cannot carry these pregnancies to 9 months or to 8 months, to 7 months, because they are a bit old. So we have to deliver them early. So the one challenge is now, how do I keep these babies alive if these women deliver at 5 months? Now that facility I'm developing will cost me not less than 30-40 million naira. So, and at the inception, I needed that kind of facility for those that will have. So finances will always be a challenge to the whole world. This COVID thing, what is the biggest problem? Finances. America said we need to be testing 500,000 people per day. Now they are testing only 150,000 people per day. UK just said they were able to achieve 100,000 tests per day. If you ask them what is the problem, finances. So there's no organization or government without financial challenge, because I cannot charge people so much in Benue because we're a pure civil service state. So I have to subsidize. Now, a fertility center requires light for 24 hours. It can't blink. If it blinks, your incubators will go down. So since the inception of that hospital, I have inverters, I have standby generators, I have connected to 33 kVA because you can't blink. Now, to run generators all day long, check the diesel that you use. So there are challenges, manpower. I have gone abroad. At least I'll be able to train 2-3 staff abroad. More need to go and get the human resource development. So but I believe that discussing challenges can discourage people. So that's why I know that you start in your way and you continue to develop from there. I started without an intensive neonatal care unit. Now I'm telling you that in June, we are going to commission a neonatal intensive care unit.
How has the government support? Has there been any government support? Because what you are doing, especially for Benue, is huge, and the project is also quite huge. This is a personal initiative. What is your relationship with government based on support?
The hospital was commissioned in 2015 by the wife of the governor. The governor himself has been there once to visit a patient, and the wife has been there, I think, once or twice to commission and visit. The deputy governor accompanied the governor there once in 2016 thereabout. So at least the government is aware in terms of that the facility is there, and there has been some patronage. Let me be honest, that at least you see people in government attending the hospital, because the hospital has to be survived by funding. People who can afford the care, so that we can get funds and help the people who are less privileged. That's how we survive. If you can afford, part of what I make, I use it to complement those that don't have. So they know the facility is there. They have sent people for patronage. That is the way I can say. What I want to do now is that let us as Benue unite. The divisions of politics, the divisions of tribe and all that has divided us, so that sometimes people don't even appreciate. They appreciate, but they are reluctant to help because of small political differences. But the way the world is going today, we are using this medium now to say that all of us need to be on board, because it is serving the Benue people. Right now, I believe that when elections are over, everybody must come on board to serve. So we use this media to say that First Fertility is ready to work completely with the government of the day, so that we continue to help the women. Because, for instance, Unispring of Life Foundation is a body set up by the wife of the governor to help women. And there's no way you want to help women and you leave issues of fertility, issues of high-risk pregnancy management out. So I am calling for collaborations now, so that we'll continue to grow. You understand?
Yeah. Organizations like Unispring of Life Foundation partnering with you.
Yes.
First Fertility won't be a bad thing. Viewers, if you are just tuning in, this is Personality of the Week on Benue People's Television International, and we have a personality, a big fish in the house this day, someone that you all love to meet, the brain behind First Facility Hospital in Makurdi, Benue State, talking about Dr. Stephen Kwande. We are still talking here. Now let's talk about the dreaded COVID-19 that is ravaging the entire world at the moment. You are a medical doctor. What is COVID-19?
I told people that as at December and January, Nobody saw this thing coming. Nobody. Not even the powerful men of God could say COVID was coming. Not even the doctors could. In fact, the anger of Trump now is that World Health Organization and China discovered they were having these issues in December. And they knew the magnitude of the problem. And they did not alert the rest of the world, the infectious nature of this COVID. Now, viruses, just like you have organisms, you have fungi organisms, you have bacteria, you have virus. It's just a virus. You know, HIV is a virus. Measles is a virus. Chickenpox is a virus. Hepatitis is a virus. Coronavirus is a virus. And it's a virus that hits mainly the respiratory system. It has been there before. It's not a new virus to the environment. It is just that a strain of it has come now, emanating. They are thinking whether there are arguments that it escaped from a lab in one hole, like Trump is saying, or they are thinking that it was infected an animal who in turn, these are the two theories that are on board now. So it's a virus, it's an RNA virus that has existed before but caused mild symptoms in the past. Now it has taken a virulent. Virulent means a very severe infective nature and is transmitted by droplets mainly. And when it gets to the nostril or the pharynx, it begins to manifest fever, weakness. And when it gets to extreme cases, it causes respiratory. That's why I hear the word ventilator, life support. But I'm pleased to say that yesterday, America announced that there is an antiretroviral drug. There's an antiviral drug yesterday that they unveiled by their own drug administration in US that can be used to treat COVID in very severe respiratory condition. They approved it yesterday. So yesterday we were able to get a major breakthrough. Now, a antiviral drug has been shown. The drug was there before, used in the treatment of HIV. Now they know that the drug is very effective in treating the worst case COVID issues. Let me tell you categorically that if 10 people have COVID now, 8, if you don't test, you may not even know. They live normally. They just have mild headache, mild weakness, mild aches, and it eases off like that.
But they can transmit it.
They can transmit. That's the problem. They can transmit. So that's why you see most of the people in isolation center, a lot of them don't go into very terrible conditions. It is that is why, if you notice, America has over 1 million cases. Over 1 million cases. But only 60-something thousand deaths. Those are like 6%. 6% death. Like you have 100 people. Nigeria has over 2,000 plus with 60 deaths. It's still, if you have 100, if you have 2,000, and you see the death rate. So it's not the fatality and death rate of COVID is even less than malaria and less than HIV. But it is the transmission.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that we must talk about this COVID that we must add is that if you see the people that COVID is killing, is mainly the elderly people who already have compromised immunity. People who already have HIV and AIDS, diabetes, and other comorbidities. In the very young, in the middle age, it comes and goes like that.
Our people are confused there. Like, some people go into isolation centers after testing positive, and then they get treated. But we are told that there is no cure for it.
Yeah,
So
you see, like HIV, there's no cure for HIV, but people are treated. Treated means if you come with fever, they will treat the fever. If you come with breathlessness, they will treat the breathlessness with life support, ventilators, and all that. There is no drug directly now that you have COVID. Just like, okay, I have malaria. You give me anti-malaria, it goes. I have tuberculosis, give me anti-tuberculosis, it finishes. There is no drug that you say, I have COVID, take this is drug for COVID. Once you take it, will treat the COVID. No. They are treating the symptoms. And then they are researching on drugs that can regress the difficult manifestation of it. Because, for instance, if I know that COVID can move from malaria to cough, and then to pneumonia, then to breathlessness, to respiratory arrest, and to death, and I know that this drug can reduce the severity of COVID. I give a very clear example. If a child has measles, there is no drug to give now that I'm giving you to treat measles. But the itching, you see people rubbing calamine lotion. It's just to reduce the itching. You see people taking paracetamol. It's just to reduce the fever. That is the same way COVID is approached.